there, Starscream back for a review of Transformers. I didn't say quick review, did I? It seems quite good. I've managed to get 2 reviews up in not so much time. Quite pleased with myself. One thing I will point out, I won't be doing any reviews for a while because I'm off. I'm off on holiday, which is so nice. So, I thought I'd leave with a review if that's of any interest to anybody. It's a special review because there's not a lot of this guy out. And it's a 2-for-1 offer. So, should I get with it or randomly talk about nothing for a bit? I'll get on with the review, okay? Before people start going. Okay, Roadbuster. Now, is it just me or is the colour coming out really weird? I'm not sure if it's my camera. It seems to be picking up very odd colours today. Right. Roadbuster and Whirl. I have taken a look at Whirl, and I've got to say, for my own benefit, that I think I was the first person to start talking about him. Somebody else mentioned that they did. I'm not naming names. You know who you are, don't you, mate? No hard feelings, but never mind. Let's crack on, shall we? I've looked at Whirl before, but I'm going to concentrate primarily on Roadbuster, but the reason I brought Whirl up is because they both come along from the same show. It wasn't a Transformer show. Hasbro just took the moulds and used them because they wanted to bolster up the Transformer toys, you know. They didn't want to invent or, you know, or remold or think of anything original. They thought they'd just rip off some more toys from a Japanese cartoon show. Well done, Hasbro. Well done. Right, so he's from a completely different show. Now, if I am right, it's Armour Battle Patrol or Armour Division Patrol or... Hang about, wait there. I listen to the voices in... I think it's Special Machine Armour Division or something. I don't know anything about the show. I could look it up on Wikipedia, but I don't want to, because if I look it up on Wikipedia and start spouting out what Wikipedia says about it, then you'll say I'm just reading it, so I won't. So I'll be completely honest, I know absolutely nothing about the show, other than the fact that I think it's similar to the lines of Battletech, and I think they're like mech, tank, protection force, police thing. Does that make sense? No. Doesn't matter. Let's look at Roadbuster. He's a good character in the comic book run. As you know, he didn't appear in the Transformers show, and the reason being for that, because the toy was from Hasbro or Sakira's rival, so if the show was going to be shown in Japan, they can't have characters from other shows appearing in their show. So it's kind of like having, I don't know, it's like having GoBots appear in Transformers, isn't it? It's not going to happen. So, Roadbuster as a character, he is really good. He's one of the wreckers in the comic. Now, we all know who the wreckers are. And, yeah, he's a bit of a tough nut. He likes to fight, although he's got a little bit more going on in the head than some of the other wreckers have. But, by the by, he's a good fighter. And he primarily stays on Cybertron. I don't think he comes down to Earth. I could be wrong, but no, I don't think he does. And he dies... I think it's in Time Wars now. He gets this big plasma gun thing, and it charges it up, and he fires it at Galvatron, blasting half of Galvatron's face away. But in doing so, it has an overload, and he's still holding the gun. He's going, yeah! That's the end of Roadbuster. Okay, so shame. That's it. But as I said, the character relatively well developed in the comic, and he's one of the records now. Let's take a look at the toy. Bizarre colour scheme, isn't it? Because he's not a Transformer, and they obviously didn't bother changing the colour. They put a rub sign on him, you know, so that really makes him an official Transformer now, because you can't just take a sticker off and put it on anything you want. Hey, look, I could take, let me think now. These glasses, I could put a sticker in them and a rub sign there. It's a Transformer glasses set. Rip off. Alright, the toy itself is kind of odd. Odd transformation. No metal on it that I can determine anyway. And he's quite plasticky. Has the most bizarre transformation. Now, I've got to show you this to see what I mean. Pull it off. Look, you see here, look. You have to pull the leg out and it's on this sort of pivot and you pull it down and to lock it for the car mode. I mean, this thing took me ages to work out. I was sitting there going, I'm sure the leg must come off to transform it. No, if I pull it any harder, he will be hopping. So, yeah. Now, Roadbuster the toy itself have a lot of accessories. I don't have any of the accessories, I'll be honest. I've had this one from a kid. I've had it for years. And he's quite worn. Actually, I'll take that back now. Before anybody posts anything, stop. Before you post. I think these bits are metal. Yeah, I think they definitely are. I think they're die-cast metal because they're chipping away down here. So, yeah. Would I rate Roadbuster as a good toy? He's alright. He can move his arms. Can't move his head. And once you put him into robot mode, can't move his legs. So, you can't really pose, and to be honest with you, very good, isn't it? Because it's so G1, you can't pose the toys. They can't move their heads, they can move their arms and their legs are fixed. So in that case, he's a perfect Generation 1 Transformer toy. And you know what, I liked him so much, the colour scheme, because it is a bit bizarre. I keep going off screen here, don't I? I should be a bit higher. I repainted Prowl. Who the hell's Transformer Prowl? PayPal? No. Prowl. I transformed. I repainted Generation 1 Prowl into Roadbuster. What do you think? I don't think it's too bad. I had good fun doing this. Yeah, it's a bit garish, isn't it? But you know, you put these two together, it's not a bad attempt. I'm quite proud of this guy anyway, so yeah, I like the colour scheme. And as you know, I got Ultra Magnus in Roadbuster colour. Yet again, yeah, you can see similarities. He's getting very bizarre feedback off the light. That was Ultra Magnus, by the way. And should I talk about Whirl? Well, I said pretty much what's to be said about Whirl. He's a very skinny character, mine's missing his weapons, he's really old and really wobbly. And to be honest with you, you got to have both of them, haven't you? So if you see him on eBay, I'm not quite sure why it done that then. I'm not touching that, by the way. It's doing it purely on... Shut up! Right, so if you can find these guys, do look out for them. But the G1 World... Yeah, they're alright, actually. G1 Whirl and G1 Roadbuster. And if I was to pick one that I prefer out the two, it's got to be this guy. So if you can see him, get him. Right, so it's just a quick rundown of the toys. I'm sorry it wasn't way succinct. And there's no character development really for either of them that I can really discuss in great detail. So if you want to research them a bit, by all means. But Roadbuster was in the comics, and obviously, as I said, never appeared in the show. Primarily because it was a rival company. Alright, so I hope that helps with a little look at Roadbuster, who's thinking on his own legs. And obviously I'll show you the transformations at the beginning of the review, because I always do it that way. Alright, so that's me, that's Starscream saying take care guys, and see you lot when I get back, alright?